Blessed be everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the four winds and how they can help you in your magic. But before I dive into the subject, hi, I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. If you're new to the channel and you want to know more about Wicca and witchcraft, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. I also have some merchandise as well, t-shirts, mugs, cushions, all sorts of things with witchy themes. So if you want to check out the Mystical Witch store, the link to that is in the description field below this video. So let's get on to the four winds and using them in your magic. So when you're using wind magic, you're working with the element of air, and it's quite powerful magic. If you've ever stood on a cliff, when the wind is blowing, you'll feel the energy of the element of air, and it can be very, very powerful to go to a cliff and stand there and do some magic on that edge, because it's very, very powerful, that wind magic. So I'm going to talk about the four winds, and I'm going to talk about them more traditionally. Now this is going to vary depending on where you live in the world, because these winds, of course, are to do with the Northern Hemisphere, particularly in the area of the Mediterranean. So the climate there and the way the winds blow there is going to be different to perhaps where you live. So take that into account. The Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere are also going to be different. So once again, you're probably going to need to reverse the North and the South if you live in the Southern Hemisphere. So I'll talk about that as we go. So the first wind I'm going to talk about is the north wind, known as Boreas. It's a cold, dry wind and associated with the element earth. Now this is in the Northern Hemisphere because the North Pole is in the north and it's always associated with earth. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you're going to tap into this energy coming from the south. So coming from that Arctic, cold, dry energy. It's about letting go. Same thing as a dark moon or a waning moon. It's about banishing, closing things off, finishing things and separating. So if you do want to do some sort of closure spell, or you want to separate yourself from something that's going on in your life, or someone that's going on in your life, then doing it, of course, on a waning moon, and then having the wind to match that, either coming from the north or the south, depending on where you live, can just help propel the sails of your magic along just that much better. The next wind is the east wind, also known as Urus, and it is a warm, moist wind. It's associated with the element of air, and think of it as being like the new or the waxing moon. So this is where you're looking at changes, new beginnings, also associated with the intellect, communication. If you're doing anything to do with your finances from an electronic point of view, then working with the east wind and working with the element of air is a really, really great place to be, because air is about electronics and communication. So when it comes to money and finance, I know traditionally we work with the earth element, but these days, with everything being so electronic, the air element actually has quite a part to play in financial magic these days too. The next one is the south. So if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, the south, of course, is where the equator is. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, the north is where the equator is. And this is where the warm, dry air is going to come from. So when the wind is blowing from that direction of the equator to wherever you are, it's going to have that very, very warm, fiery heat in it. So it's associated with the element of fire, and you're connecting with exactly the same energies. Passion, that fiery courage, that confidence, the warrior in you, doing magic for anything that you need to take initiative with, anything that's inspiring you, using the magic of the fire in the same way that you would use the magic of the full moon, that real full energy. So if you've got anything that you're really passionate about, that you're wanting to have that real fiery energy behind to really, really burn it along, then take the wind from either the north or south, depending on where you are in the world, and apply that to the full moon if they both happen to correspond together. Now it is hard, of course, to get the winds to line up with the lunar cycles. A lot of the time you'll find the winds tend to blow from one direction or a couple of directions at certain times of the year, and then other times of the year you don't get a lot happening from those directions. So it really depends on where you live. You will need to take note of the weather maps yourself, or go onto online to see what's going on with the wind that day where you live, because it's something you're going to need to fine tune for yourself, because it does vary wherever you are. So it's a good opportunity to look and see what the wind is doing on the day for you, and then tune into the energies of that wind. How do you know that the wind is blowing from that direction? How do you feel it? How do you experience the energy of it? And then as you get to know it and feel it, you can start to then use it in your magic. So the last one, of course, is the west wind, or Zephyrus. By the way, south wind is called Notos. With the west wind, it is typically cold and moist. Again, depends on where you live. Associated with water and the color blue, you're dealing with all of those watery healing energies. You're dealing with emotions, you're working with cleansings, with purifying. Even love magic can be worked with the west wind. Now, of course, you've also got a lot of winds that are going to be coming from the northeast or the southwest, and that is going to change your magic as well. So when you think of, say, a southwesterly wind and you live in southeast Queensland, where I live, that wind is a really cold, chilly, ferocious blowing wind that we usually get quite strongly around late July, August, September. You've got the aspects of the west coming in there, but you've got that cold aspect for us of the south wind, which would be equivalent to the north wind in the northern hemisphere. So it's a real strong, banishing, cleansing, letting go wind. Very, very powerful for combining those energies. So if you want to combine cleansing with banishing, for example, then looking at a wind that's a bit of both, the south and the west. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it's probably the north and the west. If you're in the northern hemisphere, is a way to go. If you're wanting a northeasterly, and again, if you live in the southern hemisphere where I do, in the position that I am, northeasterly winds are really lovely winds for us here. They're warm and they're fresh, and in summer they can be a little warm. But in winter, if we get a northeasterly in winter, it tends to be a much warmer day. That beautiful energy of fire, so you've got that passion and that confidence and the strength of fire with the new beginnings of the easterly influence, just can be really, really refreshing. So do take a look at your weather, take a look at which way the winds are blowing or where they're blowing from, and go out, feel what they feel like. Does it feel dry? Does it feel warm? Does it feel moist? Does it feel cold? And see if you can face in the direction of the wind and get a sense of where that direction is, because it's a way of really embodying the energy of the winds and getting to know them even before you start working with them in your magic. If you liked the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.